wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, we seen something that was trending online yesterday. This is from the Facts and Law podcast. They had a young lady on there, and she was talking about dating, and this is what she said.
I'm not dating a man that does not come from a two-parent household. I don't care what race you are.
You came from a two-parent household?
No, but I'm going to explain to you why. There's a big difference with the man who was raised with his mother and father versus a man who was just raised with his mother. And I had the pleasure of marrying a guy who was raised by his mom, and I dated seriously a guy who was raised by both parents. It's a big difference. And coming from a household where I was raised by my mom, as a grown woman, I'm telling you, it's a difference.
So we're asking 800-585-1051, do you agree there's a difference between dating someone that comes from a two-parent household versus someone that doesn't come from a two-family household, or two-parent household, I should say? We'll start with you, Jess. What do you think?
I just think it depends on the situation. I've dated, men who, I have never dated a man who, and that's not by choice, like who's come from a two-parent household. I haven't. I've been in 3 relationships where all the moms were deceased. You know what I'm saying? And it shows greatly in the men.
Do they have mommy issues?
It shows differently. Like Rome was the first one. Mommy issues to this day, And it also goes off of how he treats women. Then it was another dude, you know what I'm saying? Wayne don't have his mother neither. That shows greatly in him as well. He just don't have the same issues that Rome got. Then the dude I took on the show, the guy before that I dated, Chris, he lost his mother too. And it shows that he didn't know how to give affection. It shows in different ways, you know what I'm saying? So that was the first question I asked Chris on a date. Where your mother? You know what I'm saying?
Where your mother?
And yeah, and it definitely shows. Now, he didn't have his mother and his father, but his mother and grandparents raised him. You know what I'm saying? So it is a difference, but you don't go picking and choosing like, do you come from a two-parent household? Because listen, you can be effed up and come from a two-parent household.
Correct.
Because it was an unhealthy balance. Your mom was doing something to your dad, or your dad was mistreating your mom or something like that. So you can't just say, yeah, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to get, and it's going to be a great relationship because this person comes from a two-parent.
But it has to be something lacking, right? If you don't have 2 parents in the household or you're not raised by both of your parents, it has to be something lacking, right? Regardless, if your mom is not in your life, there has to be some emotional, some sensitive side that is lacking. And if your father's not in your life, there has to be something there as well, right? Has to be.
And very much that's true. But say if you got 2 parents, say if you have 2 parents, right, and one of them don't know how to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you still lacking. Like it just depends on how you parent, how you come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, number one, I don't know why we're listening to that young woman because she didn't come from a 2-parent household herself. Okay, and I would think that it's more so about the relationship that you have with your parents as opposed to just coming from a 2-parent household. You've been saying that just like you can have both parents. And those 2 parents could be effed up. They might not have instilled anything good in you. Or to another point you made, Jess, the 2-parent household may have been dysfunctional.
Correct.
You might have saw those parents arguing all the time, fighting all the time. So it doesn't matter if you come from a 2-parent household. It matters if the person that's raising you is instilling good things in you. That's it.
I don't think she was coming from a place of how you're raised. I think she was coming from a place of what you're possibly missing by not having both parents raising you. And maybe, because I do feel like if you don't have both parents in your life, you have to be missing something. Something has to be a lack of if both your parents are not in your life.
Maybe not.
Well, we have Vivian on the line. Vivian, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's your opinion, Vivian?
Good morning.
Good morning. My opinion. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Jess and Charlamagne.
Good morning.
My opinion is the young lady Megan has been saying, a man raised by a father and a mother may have seen a woman being treated well by a man on a daily basis, whereas a man just raised by his mom did not see how to treat a woman on a daily basis. Not about being raised right or wrong. It's being a woman being treated well on a daily basis.
But don't you think that's a generalization? Because it could be the flip side. You could grow up in a two-parent household where you saw the daddy treating the mother bad or the mother treating the dad bad.
Thank you, Vivian. That's true too.
Absolutely. But I'm just saying, from her perspective, maybe what she was saying. I don't know what was in her mind, but when I heard her speak, that's because that's what I grew up with.
A two-parent household?
My dad treated my mom well.
Well, let me ask you a question, Vivian. Should we be listening to that young woman, being that she didn't come from a two-parent household herself?
You know what? I think the fact that she did not come from a two-parent household lets her know what she wants. She knows what she parents want because of what she has an experience.
But that's my point.
What's that? Thank you, Vivian.
What she's pointing out and others saying they lack because they didn't come from a two-parent household. How come that don't apply to you, young lady?
Well, I mean, maybe that's what it is. Maybe she sees what she's missing and doesn't want to date somebody that does not have the same things that she lost out on. You know what I mean?
No, she said she was very confident. She said, no, I was raised by a single mother, and like basically like she turned out great. But a man who was just raised by his father, she don't want that no more.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You have to have, she was saying like her mother did great with her. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was how she positioned it.
Until you talk to the men that date her and they be like, oh, hell no. She's all
I never dated her. Hello, Kim.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Kim, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts is I don't find anything wrong with it. I feel like it's always a problem when women say we want to do better. If this young lady has experience dating somebody from a two-parent household, why are we not living by that mantra? You know better, you do better. From experience, dating anybody, man or woman, coming from a single-parent household, it's a hassle. It's a hassle dating me, and I came from a single-parent household.
You had just a mama or just a daddy? Which one?
Just a mother. And my mama was a piece of work. I don't stand a chance in a relationship. All I heard all my life is I made calls to be the boss. I'm good looking because I'm from Brooklyn. All kinds of stupid shit.
You got a man now?
No.
Are you looking for? Are you? Do you have that? Do you have?
I'm looking for a man, but ain't nobody gonna deal with this. And my mother was an alcoholic. And I don't even drink.
See,
I love people that know they stuff. She said, "Ain't nobody gonna deal with this."
See,
I wish I got a bunch of
Mama.
homegirls. I wish would look in the mirror and say the same thing.
But you
ain't nobody gonna deal with this.
But you see what she said.
I know one up here right now.
Who?
Nothing. I'm sorry. Damn, I got a little too carried away.
I see. 800-585-1051. We were talking from the Facts and Law podcast. A young lady was on there yesterday and said she would never date a man that came from a single parent household. This is what she had to say.
I'm not dating a man that does not come from a two-parent household. I don't care what race you are.
You came from a two-parent household?
No, but I'm gonna explain to you why. There's a big difference with the man who was raised with his mother and father versus a man who was just raised with his mother. And I had the pleasure of marrying a guy who was raised by his mom, and I dated seriously a guy who was raised by both parents. It's a big difference. And coming from a household where I was raised by my mom, as a grown woman, I'm telling you it's a difference.
So we're asking, what's your thoughts? It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we're talking about this woman that was on the Facts and Law podcast. She said she would never date a person that came from a single parent household. And we're taking your calls, 800-585-1051. Now, Jess, you said it doesn't matter.
No, it does. Well, it just depends. It doesn't matter, and we can't necessarily say, "Oh, that's better," or those relationships where a man came from a two-parent household are more successful. Like any household can be toxic. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like any household. Like, look, let's just take let's be honest.
Right.
The Jackson 5. Look at their mom and look at their dad. You know what I'm saying? Two-parent household. Joe wouldn't even let his kids call him dad. He was beating them and doing everything. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot going on there. Then that's less. And then, see, I think when people feel like, when they think of two-parent household, they think of one, like the Huxtables.
The Cosby Show.
You know what I'm saying? The Cosby Show. Like,
Yep.
they think of that. But, no, you have so many different types of two-parent
Variations,
households.
yep.
You don't know, yeah.
Yeah, she should have worded it better. She should have said, I'm not dating anybody who didn't see a healthy relationship growing up. You know what I mean?
There
Like,
you
that's
go.
what she should have
There you
said.
go.
But you know, even with that, you know, some people who don't see a healthy relationship go the complete opposite. You know, some people that didn't have a dad in their life want to make sure they're in their kid's life even more because they knew what that feeling was. So that could be wrong too.
I think this whole conversation we having is exactly why you shouldn't generalize.
Right.
And that's what she did. She generalized. Like, there's no one way to do any of this.
Right. Nicole, take us off Bluetooth for speaker, please.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect. What's your thoughts, Mama?
I just want to say good morning, everyone. Also, I feel like a family background is just important in general. Not whether you come from a single mother or a single father or a two-parent. I grew up in a two-parent household, but I feel like the way you see your parents portray love in general is just going to be how you portray love. So I think just the family dynamic in general is important.
That's right.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hello, who's this?
Andrea,
Andrea, good morning. What's your thoughts?
I agree with the comment.
What comment?
The comment about coming from a two-parent household.
Oh, what the lady said? Why do you agree?
Yes, I agree. I come from a two-parent household. To me, it's structured better, especially when, you know, the dad's involved. Discipline is better. So I completely agree.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mama. Hello, who's this?
Hey, it's Tom.
What's your comments? What do you think, brother?
Hey, foremost, good morning, everybody.
Good
How
morning.
y'all feeling?
Blessed, black, and
Good,
highly
good.
favored, sir.
Hey, likewise, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I totally wholeheartedly disagree with the young lady. Like Charlamagne and God said, everything you stated was true. I can say I came from a both-parent household, but then I know it's called manipulation. But at the same time, when a man grow up, regardless, and life happens, he decides how to take care of a woman, and he knows how to take care of a woman based off of maturity. So how can she say that? And then she sounds like a person, and I'm sorry to have to say sound because I haven't seen her and not going to see her, but she didn't even come from a two-parent household. So how can she be relatable to that scenario? Right. And then she meets another guy that happened to be opposite of the first guy. But here's the deal. Who to say he didn't lie to her and he just understands the mission? Maturity happens. You start understanding the mission, how to take care of a woman, how to keep them secure, and make sure they stay fed, guide them as a king, and then after that, it's successful. So what she's saying is she just happened to meet somebody else that was better than the other. Word. But then how does she relate that, and how can she put that on a scale if she never met both parents? It could just be hearsay.
That's real.
Thank you, brother. Well, I'm going to the stream. You know we do go live, so I'm going to read some of the people on the live. Like, shout to Miss _Candy4. She says there are a lot of two-parent households with verbal abuse, physical abuse, and infidelity. Anyone can make changes in their lives for the good of any relationships. It depends on the actual person.
That's a fact.
Somebody else said, a two-parent, not so much. I think a man having a good relationship with his mother is more important.
That's right. That's what I said earlier. It's just like it's about the relationship that the child has with the parent, the single parent or whatever. Because you can come from a two-parent household, and that two-parent household could be instilling a whole bunch of nonsense in you. Yes.
That's right. I see I am Share KIAD. She says, I know men from both one-parent and two-parent household that's both messed up mentally. So she's saying it doesn't matter. Another woman says, workout with Butterfly. Good morning, workout with Butterfly. She says, I don't agree. It's up to that person to grow up the right way in adulthood. It doesn't matter. I see somebody else says two-parent households don't mean nothing. A lot of two-parent households involves abuse.
That's right.
So what is the moral of the story, guys?
The moral of the story is stop generalizing. Everybody be generalizing. They just be getting on these podcasts and just getting on platforms and just doing these broad generalizations. If that works for you, if you want to just date people from a two-parent household, cool. But guess what, young lady? You don't even come from one. All right? So what's wrong with you? Let's start with you, man. What's your problem?
And what about the people with no parents? I know they like, hold up, yo.
Can I get in this conversation? You stupid.
You know what I'm saying? You know, people in foster care that's been raised greatly, that hasn't been.
People's parents who died.
Yeah, people parents who died, and it's like they didn't get to be raised by, finish being raised. So it just depends, yo. So yeah, generalization is crazy for this.
The ones raised by their grandparents.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? What if my parents didn't want me and I ended up getting raised by my grandparents? Then what?
Or you had your baby young and the grandparents helped you out until you got your thing together. Happens all the time.
Yes, it sounds just like a Tyler Perry movie. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got Jess With The Mess coming up. What we talking about?
Trump nephew said he is not voting for him, honey. He voting for Kamala. So we gonna have to get into that.
That's his real nephew?
That is real nephew.
Wow.
Say, yo, what? I'm not voting for y'all. You're a clown.
Damn. All right. We'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.